What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the fourth album by American rapper Rittz. Basically, this project is called Last Call, and it came out in the fall of 2017. Now, the fair about this project here is as far as these pitches going to happen. Basically, the particular project, this is the last album that Rittz did with the Strange Music label, which was basically Tech Nine's music label. Pitches like that, as far as those appeals going to happen, had his particular affiliation on here. But the fair about this particular album is just the factoid that Rittz does not really have any guests on here as far as these pitches kind of happen. The fair about this particular album is just the fact that Rittz doesn't have any guests on this album as far as these pitches going to go, but it does have some 7 beats. There's a frequent Tech Nine producer pitches like that, some type of ordeal. There's some other type folks on here. It's unfortunate that this aesthetic did not continue with Rittz longer, but he did manage to, back in 2017, I thought that this might have possibly been a mistake considering what kind of more or less happened with Cut Calhoun, but Rittz has basically kept a pretty steady type collective as far as this pitch is going to happen. He did put out an album in 2019, and some of these further type ones, he's put out a series of albums, pitches like that. He did like a Ritzmas album. He did Put a Crown on It, some of these type pitches. So I'm going to start getting to some of those. It's kind I need to return to Rittz a lot more than I have been in these recent type times. The last time I checked in with Rittz, apart from this particular album, was back in the spring of 2024, pitches like that, and before that it had probably been 2016, so this is the pitch. But yeah, I've basically reviewed all 4 of his Strange Music albums now within these pitches. That's the format within these aspects. We're going to start getting to some of these post-Tech 9 type albums. I am going to get to Put a Crown on It, some of those type ones, these other type fairs within the pitch. Just being able to say within these aspects as far as these tones happen. But yeah, this is a classic here. Now the thing about it is, this is a deluxe edition with 5 or 6 extra songs, which the Spotify edition does have those extra songs, but I'm going to get to it later as far as these pitches going to happen. But basically, I am going to review at least up to the 16th song, which is basically I'm Only Human as far as those fairs going to happen. It's a pretty decked out type album. Rittz handles these aspects on his own as far as these pitches can happen. It's a good, compelling type album, pitches like that. Song topics are pretty good within these ordeals. Now, the particular fair about it, this album basically has most things within the fashion of what it needs within these fashions. The only real thing it doesn't have is full bound is maybe possibly just like a nightclub song pitch, just like that, which is kind of the fair. This kind of feels more like a personal type album within these pitches, which is more amidst the product of just like the slumbish kind of day push within the aspects as far as those first album. Rittz has like a particular lane, and he had been doing this. He did this with like the Life and Times of Johnny Valiant from 2013, and like also Next to Nothing from 2014. Some of those type ones I remember within those pitches. Kind of the format. Rittz was pretty good pro at doing those particular styles. Tech Nine was pretty good at these commerce kind of rainy, dredgy ass day type ones as well. Rittz, Tech Nine, Jelly Roll in certain senses. Some of the stuff folks would kind of have that particular style within it. I'd probably say a little white in certain senses, even though he's a little bit more fiery. But I look after it. This is a very sludgy type album within the pitch. The thing this album succeeds in doing is just the aspect of doing some makeshift in like an underground type sense. So Tech Nine is pretty good at that. There's a lot of excellent hooks on here. Some of these type ones like Press Rewind and like Indestructible and I'm Only Human. Some of these type ones that just have these particular type of appeals. Some of these type aspects. There's some other ones on there that kind of have that particular tone, but Rittz handles a lot of these hooks on here. They're pretty catchy within the affability behind it, just within a similar type fashion to Jelly Roll. Some of the aspects, Tech Nine in certain sense just has that aspect of like a strange music type style pitch, just like that. So some good type ordeals. The unfortunate thing is that Rittz never really charted like that within those pitches. It's just kind of the format as far as saying when you pay attention, like the flair, he was kind of it's basically like if you would have taken Jelly Roll back in like 2016 or 2018 before like his full bound kind of chart type days and just kept that particular format. That's basically Rittz within the fair of it. Not to say that Rittz doesn't have the glamorous type appeal, but it's this kind of pitch. He just was always more underground type fair within the aspect. But just basically that's the same variety as Tech Nine. Tech Nine doesn't have too many frequent type charting singles. I do question if Rittz has some certified type songs within pitches like that, because there are a few songs that have over 1 million plays on here. Actually, I'm Only Human has 11 million plays, which I didn't notice within those pitches a little bit ago. It's kind of within the pitch, but that's actually higher popularity than the singles. Indestructible and Dork Rap both have 2 and 3 million plays. Pitches like that was kind of the ordeal. That, yeah, surprising, real popular type one is I'm Only Human, 11 million plays. Some of these type folks more in the underground type sense, Yellow Wolf, Tech 9, Cut Calhoun, Jelly Rolls, some of these type folks in particular, a lot of these particular type folks kind of will stack up these RIAA certified type songs within the pitch, and that gets towards their kind of popularity within it. That's kind of what Rittz is doing here. I don't know if some of these got certified, but it is excellent type out. So I recommend all 16 out of 16 songs in here. Simple enough, 10 out of 10 within these pitches. These 7 beats hit real heavily on the head. Excellent Tech 9 producer pitches like that, M Stacks, and some of these other type ones, Matic Lee, Mars Beats, some of these type ones have some good type appeals. The Avengers, some of these type folks, so Peso Pity pitches like that. So I look after just within the ordeal. Real excellent type flare as far as saying, but yeah, it's just the product as far as saying, so it's definitely missed the fair of just kind of in some cases it does have some sticky type songs with an aspect like some UGK type vibes, definitely grab some Popeyes pitches like that, but it also has some moments for more of gusty type days that just miss the aspect of just kind of breezing on by pitches like that. Some of them are quicker. This album is actually not as quick. This album is not actually as quick as like Life and Times of Johnny Valiant was from 2013. It's not quite as blurry this time, not quite as immersed in like the quick and kind of exuberant, the quick and kind of emphatic living as far as these pitch albums. Just a little bit more sludgy. It's kind of aspect within this tone. Just kind of more stuck, just more vehicle centric, just kind of time waste. Not so much full bound with an aspect of loitering where you get in trouble for a pitch like that, but just kind of ordeal, just having more kind of cozy, kind of comfy type tones than pitch, and just kind of amidst kind of on the go type stuff, but just kind of in an aspect where there's smoke type fare and probably some good Jimmy Johns or Quiznos or by pitches like that. Just kind of ordeal. But it's just the fashion. It's more similar. Next to Nothing kind of did that within a sense. That one was a little bit more brooding from what I remember behind it. I did review that pretty recently. That one probably had a little bit more club time once when the pitch, had more guests on their pitch like that. But this one just a little bit more, just like a couple venting songs on this particular album, but this is more within the pitch as far as like these kind of social outing, kind of personal type songs within pitches like that. So look after it. Yeah, the 2 singles, Indestructible is the lead single off this project. It's like a vintage, gusty, and chummy kind of city dredge. Kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just Smoke on the Go. Good song to Smoke on the Go too. Jimmy John's is kind of a pushing type song within these aspects. So it's just kind of the tone. Just kind of take that particular format. It's basically kind of city day type fare within aspect of just like particular tone. So yeah, just some underground makeshift pitches like that. Does a good job of melding out some of these particular type styles in an aspect is similar to Tech 9 within these pitches, but just kind of more amidst the format of just similar to Tech 9 pitches like that, kind of amidst the makeshift going and stuff there. Is just getting some things done as far as those pitch camps. Some good type ordeals for that. Dork Rap is a nice one. Now this has a different type tone. This is a differential type pitch, like the flare bit behind this particular song. A little bit more station within like a solitary spot, but I do like the appeal behind this, like a nice grim and scowled kind of sunset pier to kind of get within the aspects of it here. Get within the aspects of it here, just lofty and cozy, but it is kind of busy and going in the same sense I'd say about it. Just good song to have a beer to and just kind of chillax, get towards the tone of taking a load off, taking the blazer off, some of those type pitches with the aspects as far as the fair is going to happen. This feels higher up within a pitch as far as those aspects going to happen, almost more or less kind of penthouse, but just kind of in like a more kind of like brooding type fashion within pitch. Just a nice personal type one within these particular tones. I would say this could almost be like a Benny type song, but it's just not as much in motion within the particular appeal behind it. But just kind of the fashion of light. It's kind of a strange it's kind of an interesting aspect for Rittz here within the pitch. I mean, it is kind of more or less like a collective kind of hangout type song, but it's just kind of within the pitch. It's just like those Eminem and Tech 9 type vibes of having like a chip on your shoulder pitch, just like that I had to say. So it's just kind of the ordeal. Nice personal type one. Pretty much I would say similar to Eminem on like a song like maybe like Soldier or one of those type ones, but just it's not quite as energetic. This has a little bit more kind of incense type feel about it, but something Eminem would have probably done on like the Eminem show, so those type pitches within it. So there is a 3rd single that was on the deluxe edition, which is Happy Ending. I'm going to get to that one as well, but it's just, you can get to that one as well within those pitches, but it's kind of the format. So there's plenty of these hits on here within the aspects as far as these tones going to happen. So Crash and Burn is a quality one. It's like an 80s twinkle and car surf to kind of get within the aspects of it, just amidst like blurriness that I'd say here. It's like a fun but snaring kind of good song to grab like a hot pizza too as far as these aspects kind of happen. So it's just kind of miss the pitch like quick times pitch like that. It's kind of the way the song format kind of happens is just living almost too quick within those aspects, but it's actually the tone as far as just keeping that sort of stuff in mind, having the aspect of just like, alright, obviously not drinking and driving or getting too frantic and things like that within tone, but it's kind of a pitch, just go and pick up a hot pizza, some of these stuff pitches have the aspect getting like good hot meal at Burger King, some of these type aspects from the tone, just have some slow days in there, just the aspect of like kind of filtering in some of those moments to kind of have within the aspect, it's not quite as exhaustive within those pitches. So excellent type format as far as those pairs going to happen. Throwing in some water and exercise type days, and basic. Throwing in some water and exercise type days and Olive Garden, some of those type pitches within it, salad type days, pitches like that within those ordeals. A good type product there, just looking after the tone. Yeah, some of these type ones, there are some ones that do have like a pretty good, like I was saying, excellent sense of makeshift within a lot of these tones. Rittz was pretty good at these particular aspects as far as giving you like the loud pack when you would think the underground basically means that this is kind of more hardcore. This is not really a hardcore type album within pitch. It is underground, but has the affability behind having some stuff to listen to, just getting you from your job point A to point B within some stuff aspects of this, having like that blue car relative makeshift type format of this, like point A to point B in like a typical bill paying type aspect. It's just kind of tons having some of that connect within those moments. Middle of Nowhere does that. Press Rewind, Indestructible, some of these type ones. Illumination, some of these type ones within pitches like that. But yeah, I'd say Middle of Nowhere is like a good brunch and early day pep to kind of get here, just get you out there, and like the makeshift day, I'd say within products over here, just a good bop. Some of these typical type ones for like the format. Some excellent type appeals for just like the traffic of it as far as those pairs can happen, just whether or not smoking in the whip pitches like that. Some of these type ones are more smoke centric than others, but it's just some good type aspects of just having like some fun, and head trip type times along the way amidst like the legality of it, or like the good, having some fun and head trip type times amongst the legality of it and responsibility as far as those pitch games. Excellent type appeals. Press Rewind is just like that one as well. Like I was saying, it's like a good typical kind of city slums kind of get here. Just grab like the paper and donuts, some stuff aspects within the particular product. Just good underground kind of makeshift as far as these pitch kind of. So just good type product. Tech Nine kind of does songs like this, even though he would kind of have more moments within some of those type fairs. But yeah, that's about really like the only true thing. It's actually interesting within the pitch that this is kind of more within the aspect. There's some ones on here like reality, or there are some ones for just like the product to dislike the just appreciating like the embellished, like the outing type. This is a social type album, but it's social for different reasons. This kind of more amidst like the outing of just like the congress about it, more so in like the tone of like, okay, we're going to be here or there. When I think of the actual songs off this product, that would be apart from maybe dork rap, and then maybe like a song like possibly. For the most part, it's just not too much stuck in one particular spot, even in a vehicle or pitch like that. There's like a hotbox song on here I'm trying to think of. Like Reality Check kind of does that, but Dork Rap and Reality Check are about the most kind of stuck in like anchored spot kind of type songs in the pitch. So it's just kind of fair as far as him. But there is like, I want to say there might be another one, but the more or less when I think of some of those club type songs that were kind of on Johnny Valley and Next to Nothing and Top of the Line songs that pitches, it's just not. The only real thing is I think Rittz could have used like a nightclub kind of banger pitch like that. But other than that, it has these particular tones. So another nice one within these pitches would be Into the Sky. This is a real nice bopping type one. It's a throwback. This Into the Sky is like a nice throwback to early 2010s mixtape hustle. I'd say within the aspects of it here, it just really has that particular flair. Just like Dream Chasers by Meek Mill, Rich Forever by Rick Ross, sounds that flares. It's like a dope grit and hustlers kind of music as far as those pairs go. So just amidst the pitch, just that same particular type vibe should take you back to 2011, 2012. Some of those type pitches with an aspect, definite excellent type flair about that. Very tasteful, I'd have to say. Another makeshift type song on here would be I'm Only Human. This is, like I said, this is the most popular song off the album according to Spotify, including the songs in the deluxe edition. This has 11 million plays. Pretty good flair for Rittz within those fashions. Definitely good facet. I'm Only Human's like a basic weekday push to kind of get in like a slum and get along type fashion. I'd say here, just pick up some shells. My shells, I mean like Swisher Sweet Shells, bitches like that. Some of that standard good stuff and gear as far as those pitch amps. So dismiss the product. This album kind of gets you along your way within these pitches, but it's just kind of format as far as saying having the extra type product to get in. Like, this album will get you along your way within these fashions, but it's good at. This album has some good motivate and will get you along your way within these fashions, with some good further type product to figure out what's particularly within the goings on of what you're going to do along with those fashions. So it's just good type product, just picking up, getting like finding like some cheap blunt wraps, some of those type products, figuring out where the pizza spots are, some of these type pitches within aspects as far as those tones going to happen. Get like a cell phone cord, some of these type pitches as far as those aspects going to happen. So just miss the product of it. Fuck Cancer is a nice one. It's like a pounding and sobering kind of real talk change of tone to kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just nice moments to kind of have within these aspects. Just an atypical kind of song, I'd have to say, kind of for some sorrows as far as pitch like that kind of happens. So it's just within the pitch, just kind of one of those type ones that's just differential. This one's not This one's not as much makeshift or recreation, but just kind of a personal type one that, folks like Eminem and Tech Nine will kind of do. Tech Nine when he talks about his mother, some of those type fairs, Chris Calico, some of those type folks having those personal type ones. Eminem have making songs like Cleaning Out My Closet, and Kim and some of those type moments. Just kind of Rittz having a differential type angle within some of those type formats. Nails the appeal. So Long is a nice one as well. This goes in combination, not necessarily full bound in combination within similarities, but it's just another kind of Bad Hair Day type song within pitch. Is So Long. So this is, it's like a good change of tone to kind of get here. Like I was saying, Bad Hair Day for like swamp kind of makeshift push. I'd say within the aspect of it, just kind of some strange music slimes for those pitch guys. So just like Jelly Roll, just like Tech Nine, just like Chris Calico, some of these type folks within those particular type fashions. So good bears. So Long feels definitely like a Jelly Roll song. Some of stuff pitches. Rittz nails that particular variety. He was doing that for a good while as well. So good pitches like that. Illumination is a nice one here. This has some pretty good commercial type appeal. It's a good aspect. Kind of get this definitely reminds of Daft Punk and Roger Troutman. Some of stuff folks within it. It's like a sludgy kind of city weaving and kind of have just snack running like a Tech Nine Nina kind of flavor pitches like that. So it's kind of the fair. Picking up some of those type of products, getting like some Fritos and combos pitches like that within those aspects as far as those tones going to go. But just more amidst the pitch. It's not as much neighborhood. It's kind of missed the aspect of this kind of within the fair of just having like, this is a good productive type album within pitch as far as those formats kind of. So just like I was saying, good product to kind of have like multiple tasks to kind of get done for and check off as far as those pitch kind of to get towards the product to getting such and such and such and such done within these aspects as far as these tones going to happen. Good type flair. Lose My Cool is a nice one though. This is kind of a more haunting type aspect. It's another good type flair considering that around, maybe not so much around this particular time, but Brother Lynch was kind of on Tech Nine's label for a little bit, but this is like a throwback within that relative type flair. It's like a nice gloomy and kind of a gas horror style surfing. Lose My Cool is like a nice gloomy and a gas horror style surfing kind of get this Brother Lynch and like city traffics as far as those fairs kind of. So just missed the pitch, a little bit less neighborhood bound within pitches like that, but just kind of the ordeal as far as some of that relative horror dip type flair within the pitch behind it. There definitely should have been more songs like this off the album as far as these pitch can happen. I would say within the aspect, it's a real terrified type one. It's a real terrified type one within the pitch behind this. The real shrill like the aspect as far as like the horror tinge and gothicness that this album or this particular the horror tinge and gothicness that the Lose My Cool song has within the aspect as far as those tones can go. So it's a good type pitch for that. It's another personable type one within a pitch that has those formats that just like some gas type flavor that's it's another personal type song that has a gas type flavor of it that kind of switches the tone up a little bit for a new type flavor. So it's good type aspects there. Some other ones I haven't talked about. Some of these personal type ones in like a venting type sense, like Different Breed is a nice one. It's like a spot, just like a revved up kind of spicy day. I'd say with them pitch behind it here, just a long day kind of just Aggie type feeling pitches like that. And by long day I mean long ass work day, just getting pissed or peeved pitches like that. It's kind of like fuck a few things, pitches like that within those ordeals. Good song to let off steam, I'd say. Patron pickups, I would definitely recommend for that particular type bear. Just easily kind of getting like a bottle of something nice, just Quiznos, some stuff aspects within it. It's kind of the flair as far as saying some of the type bear is just one of those type ones. It's not so much Rittz saying like fuck a hater pitches like that, but it's kind of the aspect just, pop off at the mouth type folks pitches like that within those ordeals as far as those pitches kind of have this argumentative type within the aspect. Kind of a spicy type song, usual type song that's something, this kind of a more argumentative type version of something that like Crime Mob, some of that folks would kind of do pitches like that. Usually they would kind of be more fuck that bitch, throw a chair pitches like that, but just kind of ordeal just as far as saying, shut your hoe ass up, is the way Rittz kind of talks on songs, so it's kind of pitch as far as saying, but I'm looking after it. Shooting Star is a nice one as well. It's like a basic passage to kind of get here, similar to songs like Middle of Nowhere, some of these type ones in the aspect, this kind of press rewind, some of these type ones, just typical kind of drifty day, I'd say, with the aspects of it here, just makeshift pitches like that, just grab like some Arby's, get some stuff done with them pitches like that, it's kind of Bill Pace pitches like that, I'd say. Just another good example of making underground kind of more makeshift within those pitches as far as those formats kind of happen. Trying to think of other ones I haven't talked about on here within these aspects. I think that there might be one or two more extra ones on here. I don't know if I talked about Down for Mine, but this is a nice one as well. This more or less kind of feels like maybe possibly one of the few nightclub songs on here pitches like that. Down for Mine's like a sparkly that reminds of like Rittz from the 2013 days, that I'd say, within aspects of it here. Just glissy kind of night commerce, I'd say. Just kind of some Tech Nine sludge pitches like that. Down for Mine is either like a quick commerce type song in like the typical type fashion, like I was saying, like the 2013 Rittz kind of days, but also would pretty much more or less just be like one of those type ones that kind of have like a bleed out and like a Benny type fair pitch like that. So this kind of the aspect, it's Like I was saying, the tone behind it, the social type fare about it, like it's not like this album's not going to get a good social score, but it's kind of missed the pitch of where you listen to it socially. It's kind of more the aspect of this having like some kind of this commerce type songs for like the pitch of just a couple pals with you within the then like the transit type aspect behind it. But in terms of like more stationary, I'd probably say Dork Rap and Down for Mine are probably the ones for that particular fare. But that's probably the one song when I was saying this album needed that. Down for Mine's more or less like the one that has like the more kind of blissful kind of Friday type fashion pitch like that. So it's kind of the ordeal. There might be one or two more songs I haven't talked about on here. Trying to think of what they are. I don't think I've talked about Victory Lap. This is a nice one. It's like a sticky, kind of reminds like 2000s kind of UGK, I'd say, within the aspects of it here. Just basic kind of vehicle embellish, I'd say. But that just basic vehicle embellish, I'd say. Popeyes, biscuits, some of the stuff there is just definite swishers going as far as those aspects going to happen. Feels like a cat like Pimp C or Bun B should be on these particular type songs with a pitch behind it. So it's definitely a good throwback type flavor pitch like that. Do definitely appreciate the appeal behind that. Definitely Popeye sounds real hella nice on a song like that as far as this pitch kind of happen. And I think there's one more song I haven't talked about on here, which is Reality Check. And I think I was going to talk about this one, but I think I got sidetracked within these pitches. But this is a nice one. This has pretty standout type beat on here. Reality Check's like a sticky and enjoying a couple. Reality Check is like a sticky and enjoying a couple of vehicle smokes, kind of hot box type song with chums as far as this pitch can happen. Just kind of a venting day on top of that. So this is kind of the ordeal. Just a little bit peeved within aspects like that. Maybe some sort of complaint going on. Work probs, pitch like that. Some of those stuff aspects just like typical kind of slag and just frustrate as far as this pitch can happen. Good lyrical while out as far as this pitch can happen within the tone. So yeah, just the product of it. Good song to have some pals along for the ride as far as the pitch is kind of happen. Now, more or less, this album, it's not as full bound as much of a solo type album, but there are some sociable kind of moments on here. Down for Mine, Dork Rap, Reality Check, some of these type ones. Like I'd probably say Different Breed is kind of like that within pals. They're just kind of folks that are just kind of echoing what you're saying, pitches like that. Crash and Burn's kind of a quick type one for some of those type of appeals. So it's just some good type products, but this is more or less just the aspect. Into Disguise, like a good mixtape throwback type song for some pals pitches that remember those times. But it's this kind of pitch for saying it has the Dolo songs on here, pitches like that. It's kind of ordeal as far as saying this succeeds in kind of making like underground makeshift kind of a thing as far as this pitch can happen. Just the product, I think Rittz had kind of mastered this by this particular point. Some of these earlier type ones did it, but this is kind of the product that you get the fashion like some point A to point B in like a fashion where it doesn't have to be like the standard kind of just listening to U2 or listening to U2 or listening to Metallica, listening to standard type folks in the aspect, just some varieties with the aspects, parts of songs can happen, listening to Three Doors Down, some of the stuff aspects and the tone behind it. So this is good type fare, succeeds in like those particular aspects, does in like a Tech 9 and Jelly Roll type flavor, pitch like that, so some good type fares. The thing I talk about every song within those pitches, a 10 album. I think more or less. So yeah, the social score within the aspect, I feel like the fare behind it within these pitches, if it weren't a 10, it'd probably be like a 9.75. I just look within the pitch as far as saying it's just the product that the quality is definitely on here. But in terms of like the social type flair within the aspect, like the blistering typeness, it has the product as long as you're kind of within the motion of wanting to be in motion. It's a good type album within the pitch. But if you're kind of like, all right, time to sit down for a spell, pitch like that, figure out some moments, have like the television on, some of these type fares, so just the pitch as far as like want to get some smoke trips type going, some pitches like that, some Beezy type songs for like some twerk action pitches like that. It's kind of ordeal as far as saying it's just not as much like a social kind of dance centric type one. It's just more productive within the pitch, but nails that it's productive. But yeah, I'd probably say 9.75. I look in the pitch, not like the album's bad in any stretch within the pitch behind it. It's just kind of fair. Probably need at least another song or two like Dork Rap or Down for Mine within those pitches. Maybe Tech 9 should have been on here at least once on stuff fairs. I mean, it's dope that he managed to pull off this particular fair on his own, nail a hit album with that degrees, nail that many blistering type songs within the pitch, excellent type ordeal. So it's more just sideline complaints more so than anything within those aspects. But yeah, classic type album, 9.75 social, just because it just needed another song like Down for Mine pitches like that. But the ordeal behind it's pretty high. So look after here. So in terms of the future, like I said, Rittz has dropped some new type products. I'm going to get to the series of these. Now, everything past this particular album is without Tech 9 pitches like that. So this is kind of the fair, but I do want to get to some of these type ones, like Put a Crown on It, Rittz missed some of these type ones with the aspect for the type flares. That's definitely going to happen, but this is a classic type album. Here, pitches like that. It's kind of personable type one that nails the appeal, pitches like that, and just has some good underground kind of makeshift type patches that's actually pretty radio ready and chart centric.